This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Megillah Eicha concludes the climax of the Megillah, Hashivenu Hashem Melecha v'Nashuva Chadesh Yamenu Kekedem. The Ben Ish Chai, in his great work on Megillah Eicha, Nechamas Tzion, he explains in one of his Perushim on the pasuk Hashivenu Hashem Melecha v'Nashuva that Klal Yisrael is expressing their desire, Hashivenu Hashem Elecha, to you. We don't want any intermediary. We don't want any go-between. We want to learn Torah directly from you, like we learned on Har Sinai, panim al panim. We don't want even a Moshe in between us, like the pasuk says in Yeshaya, V'chol banayich limudei Hashem. Even though at Har Sinai we couldn't even take it anymore, and we said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Daber ato yimanu v'nishma'a, v'al yedaber yimanu Elokim. And we stood from afar. But now we say, Hashivenu Hashem Elecha, we want to learn Torah directly from you. And don't say, well, we'll learn from Hashem, but we'll have to distance ourselves like we did on Har Sinai. No, we won't be merachik ourselves from that korva. Hashivenu Hashem Elecha v'Nashuva, and we on our own will come back to that. That's what will be our greatest desire. And then we say, Chadesh Yamenu Kekedem, renew our days like yesteryear. Like, not even Har Sinai, even before the Chet of Adam HaRishon, our desire for Ruchnius, our Hasagos and Ruchnius have expanded, that we want to go to the highest madregos of Kabbalah Satorah, straight from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Adam HaRishon Koydem HaChet. Why is this the end of Megillah Eicha? Why is this the conclusion of the Megillah? Is this the ultimate tikkun? And we could explain based on a statement cited by the great Sefer Yareach L'Mayadim of Rabbi Yerucham Oshen. He quotes in Maimer Yud Aleph a teaching of Rabbi Aaron Kotler, Zechatzak Levracha, in the Mishnahs Rabbi Aaron, and the Mishnahs Rabbi Aaron in Chelek Gimel, page Mem Zayin. He explains, why do we have such a difficult time mourning over the Beis HaMikdash? Why do we find it to be so distant from us? We have a hard time connecting with it. And Rav Aaron Kotler says, Oid Siba, another cause, Choyser HaShe'ifa L'Gadlus, we're lacking the desire, the yearning, the ambition for greatness. V'lifol b'zeh ha'olam afshe efshel hagia ledargos gavoyos v'nitzchos, and to try to accomplish in this world very high madregos, eternal madregos. Shekein ilu sha'afnu legadlus. If we had true she'ifos and ambitions for greatness, hayinu margishin ad kama chosel anu beis hamikdash, we would feel, we would sense how we're lacking in not having a beis hamikdash. If we would have great ambitions, if we would desire to have ruach hakodesh, nevuah, urim v'tumim, hashras hashchina, then of course we would mourn the lack of the Beis HaMikdash. But who thinks about these things? Who desires these things? We think our life is great. We have daf yomi, and we have kosher food. So what more do we need? We don't have a she'ifa for gadlus. That's why we have a hard time relating to the Beis HaMikdash. But if we were shoyef legadlus hayinu margishim ad kama chaser lanu Beis HaMikdash v'hashras hashchina v'gilui kavod Hashem Yisbarach shahayabai. We're very satisfied with the little bit of ruchnius that we have. Our desire is on par with our surroundings and our environment. We don't have true musagim that will have an influence to expand our yearnings in life. And therefore, most appropriately, Megillah Eicha ends that the climax of our mourning, in order to be able to connect with Chorban Beis HaMikdash, is indeed Hashivenu Hashem Eicha Ribbono Shalom. We are now yearning for the highest levels of Ruchnius. We want to learn Torah directly from you. We will not ever distance ourselves from that korva. V'Nashuva, we will go back to that on our own. Now we yearn for the highest madregos of Adam HaRishon Koydem HaChet, who he was able to see, Mesoifa Olam B'yad Soifai, where the Malachi Ashores looked at him, and they said, Bikshu Loi Mar Kadosh. That is why Chazal say that the word Eicha is comparable and similar to when the Ribbono Shalom said to Adam HaRishon, Ayaka, where are you? How you have fallen. How have you plummeted? And we therefore want to go back to the highest levels of Ruchnius, and when we yearn for that, we're able to appreciate the loss of the Beis HaMikdash. And the more we appreciate the loss of the Beis HaMikdash, the more the Beis HaMikdash is alive. And therefore, Kol HaMes'abel Al Yerushalayim. If the Beis HaMikdash is real to you, and you can mourn for it, Zoicha v'roya b'shuasa, we immediately see the salvation and the consolation, because it becomes alive to us. Indeed it is. May the Ribbono Shalom bring it down to us. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.